So I've got this crazy tear in this back of this jacket. So we need to fix that. And you could go in and try to fix it from the front side, but it's going to be a little bit stronger if I go in from the inside, get inside the lining, and actually fix it from the inside. If you have an item that's lined, you can usually get in somewhere in here. Sometimes you can find exactly where they closed it up. There might be a little stitch on it. This one doesn't have that, but I'm just going to get in here through this seam. So I'll rip it open. So to do this repair, I need to take out a few of these stitches on top here, and that allows me to open up that seam. So I'll do that, and then on the inside here with this lining, I opened up a spot in the lining that allows me to turn the jacket inside out so I can do the repair from the inside. I have that seam all opened up, so now I'm going to overlap it so that the fray goes past the other seam or the other piece of fabric. Bye bye hole, you will be no more. Turn it over and just trim some of those frays. I'm putting it on the machine, and I'm going to stitch exactly where that original seam was. And there's a little indentation to help me out. So I don't even have a seam allowance marker set up. I'm just going in the original indentation on the side that did not have fraying and ripping. Flipped it back out and the hole is sealed up now. I have to repair the top stitching, that double row of top stitching that was in the middle of the jacket. So now what I have to do is repair that top stitch. So I have to wiggle it onto the machine. So that I don't catch the lining in there. Double check underneath, feel for it with your hands and make sure you don't have any of the lining caught in there. So for this top stitch, I'm going to do 2 rows mimicking what was on there in the first place. And I do need to move my needle over a little bit so that I can get really close to that edge. It's about a 1/16 inch from the edge. And you can move it on the straight stitch by using the stitch width and getting that perfect spot so that it's easy to follow. One more. So I'm overlapping my original stitch for a few stitches. And then I'm going to go all the way to the original stitch at the top. Overlapping again. Notice that I did not back tack. The overlap will act as the back tack in this situation. I'm slowing down and using just the hand wheel just so that I can see exactly that I'm hitting it. All right. So for the second one, I'm putting my needle down directly into that stitch, overlapping a couple of stitches, and just give yourself an easy place to follow. I've got my needle in a position that I've got the foot right up against my seam, making it easy for myself. That's the key. And then I'll overlap those stitches at the end again. Slowing it down with the hand wheel. Even picking up my foot if I need to. So now it's all done on the back, and the last thing that I need to do is to close up the lining where I got in and made a hole. So what I'm gonna do is just make a stitch on the outside. I've already pinned it together. I'm just keeping it super close to the edge. I'm just closing up that hole like it never even happened. All done. Time to wear the jacket again.